Awesome. $220 Scriv. But 220 followers. Yeah. Yeah. Got 20 in a week. Awesome. That is now.
I feel like this would be really fitting for a like beat 'em up game. A like 8-bit like beat 'em up.
Oh yeah,
Like an
100%.
arcade kind of thing.
Yeah. It has big arcade vibes. Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah. Okay, but I think that's a shock, isn't it? I think so. Yeah, random chat is fantastic. Now's the time to check things. I'll get the Twitch stream up again.
Rude.
Super rude. Gotta have tech issues. It's essential.
Is it? Okay.
I know, it's not doing without some kind of technical difficulty.
I
That's what
fixed it with 10 seconds to go. Somehow it
Oh,
deselected my
Maverick.
Yeti microphone. Right?
Maverick.
This
Good
is
job,
how
Chris.
we roll.
Yeah.
We crazy up in here. And transition. Hey! Hello, scribblers! See, I got my mic back and now I can yell into your ear holes. You didn't hear half of that chatter at the beginning loading screen. But hey, it's all working now. Life is beautiful. Hello, scribblers, and welcome to another fantastically fun Thursday Heroes of Iyastera stream, Chapter 2, Episode 2. And yeah, this feels weird because we have had minimal tech issues this evening. I feel like I need to knock on wood.
You say that, but
You know,
You cursed that now.
I like to mock danger and the
Stream
cyber
fail half
streaming
do that.
gremlins out there. So I am gonna knock on wood. Do I have? I don't
Oh,
think
dear.
I do. Oh no.
Oh,
Wait, the chair,
Good.
the legs of the chair. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. We're good. We're good. Stream gremlins, stay away. But yes, thank you, Cyrus. Yes, nice jinx. We're not jinxing it. It's not a jinx.
Yeah,
no.
that was
But hello, Cyrus.
risky.
Welcome to the stream. Welcome the rest of you scribblers out there, and huge welcome to how many new followers have we had in the past week? Have we hit 220? Is that what you said before, Bomb?
Yeah,
Rich?
yeah.
That's
You've had
crazy.
14. You've had 14 followers, I think.
14 followers. This is nuts. Why? I'm
Why?
very grateful. But thank you so much.
What?
Not only do we have like crazy followers now, more than I ever thought, but Fleetfoot Whack is celebrating their subscribble-versary. Thank you so much for the resubscribble.
Excellent.
3 months. You were on a 2-month streak.
Mm.
The more months you have under your belt as a scribbler, your little icon, your little scribbler badge will upgrade. So you have upgraded to the paintbrush.
wee paintbrush.
Oh, the wee little paintbrush. Da, 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 da. And guess who made those paintbrushes? one, Jenn. Thank you so much. Just wanted to make some noise. Y'all are great. No, you are great.
Yeah.
Thank you. You are wonderful. Thank you for your
I'm not
support
biased.
as always. You're not biased at all. Shush. There's no bias. Yeah, so really excited. I feel like it's been a while since we had a session, even though it's been like the normal 2-week period of time.
Yeah.
Like it's been a minute.
Yeah, many minutes across many days. I don't know why, but time has felt like it's just been going at a very strange pace lately.
Yeah.
Oh, and once again, chat, let us know how the volume's going. I'm enjoying the chip tunes while we're sitting here chit-chatting. But I want to make sure it's at a good level, not drowning out anyone's voices. You know the drill.
You could say we're
chip
chatting.
We're chit-chatting. Ayy, finger guns. Cyrus, thank you very much. Yeah, I was talking about it with some other folks, like yesterday, day before. I referred to something as having happened last year, but it actually happened in 2019. And I realized that 2020 did not feel like a full year with everything that has gone on. So if I just offhandedly say, oh yeah, last year X happened, it was probably in 2019. I feel like last year happened in the span of maybe like 2 months, but 2 like really long months, maybe 3. I don't know. I don't know how your minds have processed and internalized the passing of time during a pandemic.
Time is a social construct.
It is a social construct. It absolutely is. And I almost went off on a tangent speaking of social constructs, but we probably won't go there. Needless to say, there has been a lot of very unfortunate things. Unfortunate is putting it lightly, and I kind of offended myself by using that word. There have been a lot of very shocking and alarming, maddening things going on in the news for a long time. Past month or so, past couple of weeks in particular. Without going too much into it, because that's not necessarily the point of this stream. That's what rage tweets are for later on. But I hope that everyone out there is staying safe and you're looking out for each other. Give your loved ones a big hug if you can. If not, send them a message, because the world's a little bit crazy. Which is why we enjoy going into worlds of our own creation, where things are beautiful and magical and fun with the friends that we love the most, sitting around the virtual table. Hey. Yeah, speaking of things that bring joy, you want to show off some of those dice again? Because I don't think you've shown them off, but you have some that are of the perfect aesthetic for Marlowe.
I have a couple, yes. So I have Marlowe's set, which is
so shiny.
The shimmers.
So
They look
shiny
Turkish
and
Delight.
nice.
It's my favourite sweet.
I really like the sharp-edged dice as well.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that style.
I'm such a fan of the little hints of green that you see in there.
Very watermelon.
As is appropriate.
Marlowe Melon Magoria.
And then these for a yet to be this introduced NPC.
Okay. When are we gonna do Granola's NPC page?
I have no idea.
We need to.
If
it's not on
schedule
stream,
has
then
been butting itself up against each other.
You're going crazy. No.
Yep. I am fully booked for the next 2 months.
Nice.
That's right. You're doing other stuff on Tuesdays now as well, right?
No.
No.
Nope.
No.
I have my upcoming project that I've signed on for that will be covering the span of the next 2 months. I will be doing a thing here and there.
Okay. So we can either save Granola for a time when you are free for a chill creation, or we can work on her backstory offline. Because we've already kind of started working on that backstory. We just didn't finish the NPC page. And then maybe that'll be a nice reveal. A nice little bonus. Yeah, we'll talk about that more. But Granola's going to be a very, very special NPC. If you folks haven't already seen the artwork that Jenn tweeted out, go to the tweeters and find that. And in fact, we have a Moobot command just for that. Hey, heroes! There's everyone's Twitter handles once again, as they are also on screen. So I'm really excited to get going with this episode.
Yeah.
And any more randomness we need to cover? Everyone's got tea and snacks and the like.
Staying hydrated.
Because this is a very special episode, as you folks may or may not have heard from past streams, Twitter live broadcasts, and just the tweets from today. We have not brought them out yet, because it's gonna be a surprise, and they're not in the story just yet, but we have waiting in the virtual wings, just off stage, the one and only Argon Skies. Wave to the audience, Argon Skies. They can't see you, but you're waving. Yep, I see you waving. Yay! Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get going then, because that's gonna be super exciting, and I can hardly contain myself. I don't want to spoil anything with my chaotic rambles. So let's go ahead and
Change the music up.
change the music up.
Or not.
Do a little, yeah. Well, I'm doing the fade out. I'm doing the fade out.
Goblin
She's
market.
getting there. She's getting there.
Professional. You're not in the goblin market. You can't handle the goblin market yet. Okay.
Ooh, all right.
Okay.
All right.
You'll get there when you
Well
get
played.
there. Or when you ever decide to take this off the rails. This is the point in a campaign, right? Where you guys now have the opportunity to just take it completely off the rails.
Absolutely, yeah.
So this is
Don't
gonna
intend to.
be great. Gonna be great. Okay. Let's get our... Not that one. Not that one. This one. Let's get our Glenfarron music going. And do a quick little recap of episode 1 of chapter 2. So when we were last all gathered here together to start off chapter 2, we began where chapter 1 ended, at the foot, really the roots, the trunk, the island of the mother tree, in the center of Glenfarra's northern lake. You all had a chance to bid at least a temporary farewell to your friend Eorad, who has found himself now bound for who knows how long, to the mother tree, to the spring itself, having offered his own form, his own spirit and soul up to serve as the conduit that sparked life and connection back between the spring, the mother tree, and the land itself. With your departure, or with your farewell, I suppose, Eorad gave you all a charge, a request to figure out the truth behind this strange spider-like device that he had extracted from the roots of the tree beneath the lake's waters. So you went your separate ways, reflecting upon all that had happened and looking forward to the future, which hopefully would hold answers. Kendis and Marlowe, you went to meet the Lazarus, the clan of Lazarus, for the original family just seemed to continue to grow with each all-crowned fair, adopting more and more newcomers to the forest as they arrived looking for a new life. You met with Anselm, Lazarus, a very warm and maternal figure. You shared a picnic, and you both had the chance to inspect this device, each of you taking something a little bit different from it. But nonetheless, both of you arriving at a very similar conclusion, that this device was definitely made by someone with very significant arcane ability. While you were having your picnic lunch, which I had a great time describing, I think we all got a little bit hungry after that one, Baum went to meet with Rindoran, the captain of the guard of the Glenfarren Rangers, who is currently posted at the southmost watchtower, which overlooks the main road leading to and from Cashel, the capital city, and the rest of Monair. Baum, you confided in Rin and asked if he's seen anything strange. You were informed of a strange tale, a story where one of the last supply caravans ended up being attacked on the road before actually reaching the safe haven of Glenfarren. Nothing was stolen. However, the people within the caravan were definitely shaken up, one of which belonging to the Lazaro family, Michel. And the caravan seemed damaged. Not seemed, was damaged, but they couldn't discern if anything was taken. Instead, you suspect that perhaps something, this device, may have been planted there. Upon further discussion with Ren, telling him of this device, he confided again in you some details of his past, a past which he had tried to forget, tried to leave behind when he arrived in Glenfarren. He told you of a black market, the Goblin Market, where all sorts of strange items, objects, artifacts, not quite legal, arcane experiments may be found. However, Rin warned you of the dangers of this place. First, it's hard to find, and if you do find it and somehow gain access, which you can't do unless you know someone or have a connection to someone who has been to the market before, if you make it there, you must be very careful of any deals, any bargains you strike, for nothing is ever given freely, nothing is ever taken without a cost in the Goblin Market. Names, faces, identities, all of that is kept secret. There's some very strict rules. He himself, you remember, ran into some trouble and ended up leaving that life far behind him. Leaving that life, leaving the people, whatever memories he had, along with his pinky finger. Apparently that pinky finger was part of some sort of deal, or not. But with all of that, even as strange and ambiguous as the story seemed, the message was clear. That if you were to find the truth of this device, you need to find the Goblin Market. If you find the Goblin Market, the rest is completely in your hands. So that is where we left off last session. And we begin now with the prospect of a new adventure. You all have a decision to make. Is it time to leave Glenfarren? And this is where we will go ahead and transition to the campaign opening. And we return. Kendis, Marlowe, you have now said goodbye to the Lazarus.
Mhm.
Anselm calls out once more before you go, "Don't forget the food! Take this to the timersmith. I am tired of that boy eating acorns." I don't know if he never learned how to cook from his mother. His mother was a fantastic cook. I don't know what happened. But please, take some of this food for him, will you?
If you insist. Thank you very much.
I do insist, in fact. And whatever you learn about this thing, let us know. I think it's fair to say that this affects all of us. I'll try to find Michel. He was shaken up when he came back from that last supply caravan. He hasn't really wanted to talk about it. I didn't want to press it. He just dove right back into the work. But I don't know. Well, I think it's about time for us to get back to work. All right, help me clean up, she says, addressing her kids. Let's clean this up. Get back to our potions.
Well, we'll leave you to it, I suppose. Thank you so much for your time.
You're
and
always
everything
welcome
else.
here, dear. And a pleasure to finally meet you, Marlowe.
An honor to meet you.
And if Brackenhill is too grumpy of a tutor here, we always have room for another apprentice with us.
Thank you kindly for the offer.
Hannah laughs, recalling the little jibe she sent your way last session. For those of you who don't remember, Hannah, the Furbolg visitor who joined up with the Lazarus, wanted to be Kendis's apprentice, but at the time, no positions were being offered. Okay, so what do? You depart. Bomb, you are now coming back. Just coming back from meeting with Ren. And Ren reiterates, come see me before you leave. It seems like you've already made that decision to leave, right?
Yeah, it seems like it, yeah. As soon as I've caught up with the others.
All right.
And fill them in.
I'll stay here for the next couple of watches. Find me.
If you learn of anything more, obviously come straight to me at the cabin. I probably will not be in the bath.
Okay. Thanks for that little detail. All right. And he starts heading back to the watchtower. Liam, I'm coming up. Shouting up to his dwarf ranger partner up there.
By the way, I'm not keen on your assistant.
Liam? He's fine.
He's irritating.
I'll be sure to tell him you said that.
Be sure to.
Can't help but crack into a big old smile. I've been telling him that every day! As he climbs up the ladder back to the post. Silver Ravens, hashtag no baths for bomb. Oh
no. So I head back into the town now.
Yes.
What time of day is it?
It is... I mean, it's past lunchtime now. It's afternoon. Past noon. So do you all head back to...
I
guess
heading
let's
back
regroup.
to the cabin then?
Yeah, to the Knotless Cabin. When you arrive back at the cabin, you notice all of that frost that has begun to dissipate, melt away, the life returning to the forest. You see evidence of that life returning here as well. Although, Bomb, coming back, you still very much feel the presence of your relatives. It seems like they haven't quite gone back to their rest yet. Although the trees are beginning to recover.
I think Bomb would head to his cousin's tree.
Lamp.
He's the person.
Lamp.
Yeah. He's the person that
We love
he
Lamp.
speaks to the most
Of course.
regularly. They have what approaches banter sometimes.
Tree banter.
Even though Bomb's not good for banter.
And Lamp knows it.
Yeah.
Lamp exploits that.
And as he goes towards his cousin's roots in the tree, he's checking the sort of like the quality of the branches, you know, because they were all split before. They were all kind of like internally damaged with the frost. So he's kind of like checking the leaves and stuff, you know, like a sort of horticulturalist would do.
Of course. It's a bit unsettling. Things are recovering. They are. I say it's unsettling because the way the tips of the branches had kind of started to split, they have started to come back together, but not completely. Almost in the way that skin would begin to heal over a wound.
Like scabbing over.
Kind of scabby. Scabby, sappy tree wound.
Lamp.
Bob! Oh, I'm tired. Was I asleep?
It's the first time for everything.
I didn't know I could sleep like this. I mean, yeah, we rest, but what happened?
Unnaturally, I would say, put to sleep.
Huh. Well, I guess you fixed it, right? Good old Bomb Last of the Timbersmiths. I knew you could do it. You seem different.
I took a bath. Don't laugh. Don't you dare.
You took a bath.
Yes.
Where? In the river? In the lake?
No.
Did you take a bath in the spring? Oh my god.
Just stop a minute. I've told you about Marlowe. She's staying with me. She has made one of the rooms in the cabin into a restful place, I would say, which includes a tub, which I sat in and supposedly got clean.
No amount of bathwater is gonna wash that muck away.
Thankfully, no.
Don't get rid of it. I won't be able to recognize you without all the dirt.
Of course. I'm glad you recovered somewhat and are now waking.
I always said you were the most down to earth out of all of us.
Appalling.
No, you. Let's pretend Lamp is better at banter than Scriv is. Insert witty jokes here.
Bomb's actually quite happy. He's actually, it's perked him up quite a lot now. He sees that the lamp has at least recovered, like the leaves are starting to. All seems like, even though it's not fully returned, he feels like everything is in unison now. And there's no sporadic like seasonals and stuff like that. So it all feels like it's going back in the right direction.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, from what you can tell, your relatives, their spirits, are still there. They come to greet you. Most of the time, it's not as though you're just, overwhelmed by their voices and their greetings all the time. You get a sense for what they're thinking, what they're feeling as you are close to them, they will sometimes speak to you, but mostly it's a more quiet, comforting presence. Something that you do notice, though, some of them have attempted to return to their trees.
Not happening.
Something still seems to be blocking them. There seems to be this sense of reassurance and gratitude that things are healing, but still a bit of confusion as well, actually.
Sure.
Actually, we're going to go back to this song now. Things aren't quite back to normal yet. And when you do return to your home, your mother kind of goes, huh. Perhaps a little more time then?
Seems so. Just enough for now, though.
Are you going to leave our home?
If the others concur or agree with me, then yes.
Perhaps
And
you
to
should
stretch
ask them.
these aching legs.
Maybe take another bath. If you're going to the big city. Bomb in the big city.
Let's not go that far. One's enough for a lifetime.
Oh, don't stop now that you've begun. But I think I feel your friends approaching. Kendis, Marlowe, this is where you arrive back at the Knotless Wood yourselves. We're carrying a lovely parcel of food that's easily like double the amount both of you ate. Because in Anselm's mind, Bomb's fucking huge. So of course he would end up eating more, right? You smell the food before you actually spot them, Bomb.
I'll smell you before you smell me.
Welcome back. After you.
Did you happen to acquire any new information?
Much, yes. Why don't we take this little gift of food down to the lakeside?
Sounds like a fine idea.
It'll be quiet there and we'll only be interrupted by squirrels.
So you go back through Glenfarra then?
Just down to the, into the Knotless Woods, just into the, just near the lake. Where I previously got that whittling wood. Do you remember? They made the fish.
Yes, you do. Yes. You do have a smaller, it's a little bit more like a pond.
Not a lake, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's more of a
little
pond
estuary.
from the streams and rivulets that have stemmed away from that main spring, that lake more in the north of the forest. So yes, you do have your own fishing pond.
Take a seat. Anywhere, it's all the same. Mud, leaves. What did you learn?
I don't think with the different arcana and history checks, Marlowe, that you and Kendis made, I don't think you actually I don't think you actually shared with each other what you learned.
No, I definitely didn't.
Yeah, you didn't. And I don't think Kendis really mentioned it before either.
So we both have information. It's just that neither of us has shared it with each
haven't
other.
disclosed it yet.
Yeah.
Now might be the time.
I don't intend to disclose much of what I have gleaned.
We can sort of hear those conversations when you walk away. Just so you're aware.
Hedgewick, did you learn anything?
That's okay.
I missed all that because I got a knock on my door, sorry.
No, that's quite alright. So, you and Marlowe did not really share or disclose much about what each of you discerned through your Arcana and History checks on this device yet.
With each other.
Yeah,
At
not
the
with each
very
other.
least. Yeah.
I guess it would be prudent to pool all our information, unless anyone has any objections. We know this device is made by someone with arcane knowledge, but we didn't get much else.
Vast arcane knowledge.
I remember a similar movement in the joints to something that one of my old colleagues worked on. Quite an eerie sort of motion that, to be honest, I'd willingly pushed to the back of my mind until just now. An arcanist, Alfred, who worked on bird machines, little uncannily fascinated with my own bird-like nature. So, yes, I don't know if that means anything, but that's what it reminds me of.
So you feel that it may have been made by someone other than the infuser. So constructed one place and then imbued with corruptive energy somewhere else.
Multiple hands at work.
It's highly possible. I don't think we should rule it out at all.
It doesn't have a maker's stamp on it, does it? I know that sounds stupid.
Not that I saw. Marlowe, was there anything that stood out to you?
Would I have noticed like any sort of signature or something on the spider?
You weren't specifically looking for that. Because I believe you're doing investigation.
I do have it on me.
You do have it on you. You could very easily take it out. And it is still dormant. Not moving.
That's good.
Not shining.
that's good.
Yeah, with that nice, very, very visible crack in the center of that gem that's suspended in the body.
I would like to take it out and like turn it over in my hands and see if I see any sort of signature or anything of the sort.
Roll investigation.
What is that?
Intelligence.
21.
That's very good.
Nice.
You see anything, Marlowe? Anything at all?
Mm-hmm.
So, it takes a little bit of time. Most of the metal is very, very smooth. It looks almost iridescent, like darkly iridescent in this black metal.
Oil slick.
Almost like an oil slick, yes, with different veins of metal being melted and bent and shaped into it. It's not all one solid piece of metal. And in fact, it reminds you a little bit of that knife that Baum received from Captain Roscoe.
Mm.
In some ways, with the make of it, that heirloom or a knife. You think that perhaps this was forged in a similar manner, but you are looking for a signature, some sort of maker's stamp. And you do see something. You see on the inner ring of the body, kind of in between two of the the spines, the needle-like structures that are keeping that central crystal suspended, you see a very faint etching. But only when you hold it up to the light a certain way. So finely done that when you run your hand across that space, it feels just as smooth as the rest of the metal. But there is a marking there of 2 stars. One slightly larger than the other, but very clearly starbursts. From your dealings with mages and arcanists in your past, we'll say, you know that a lot of the ones you've dealt with are much too arrogant and prideful to not put their signature on something they create.
Right.
They are rather egotistical.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Proud of their work, which is part of why they made the choices and formed the alliances that they did and cut ties from other things. They don't necessarily believe in just being one name in a list of names. They're a little bit showier. So even on a device like this, clearly meant for something nefarious, a mark's still going to be there. You don't recognize that mark, however. It's not one that's familiar to you.
I look up and I call Kendis over as I'm turning it in my hands, and I'm like, there's a symbol here. Do you recognize it?
Kendis has a look and runs their hands over it and goes, "Ooh, well spotted, Marlowe. Very subtle, but of course an arcanist wouldn't leave their signature out of such a device. Can I go to see if I recognize this? Cool. What would that be? An investigation or
history? This is going to be history. It is intelligence based because you're trying to think back in your memories.
Cool. Just let me do. What modifier is that?
That'll be intelligence plus proficiency if you have proficiency in history. I can't remember if we went with that or not.
So let me have a look. Let me
post
just on this dice. That's a 14 for me.
Okay. It is familiar to you. With the 14. You have
Please give me
it.
something. Please give me something to go with.
Yeah. So, I will say, because this individual has already been on your mind, because you rolled very, very well when you were investigating the spider last time, it would have come to the surface of your thoughts a little bit faster. But these 2 stars, you recognize these as an element of a crest used by Alfred Agrios. That arcanist you once worked with at the Athenaeum.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I'm gonna relay that to Marlowe.
You haven't seen it in a very long time, and it's not something he used readily. It's more like this is something that you would see on a signet ring.
Okay.
Or embroidered.
Kendis has a faraway look in their eyes. They're just it's all flooding back to me. This is his symbol. This has come from the Athenaeum. There's no mistaking it. Now that I've seen this, I'd stake my life on it. This is exactly it. Oh my gosh.
And was he black-hearted, this archivist?
Personally, I didn't like him, and well, not many in the Athenaeum were... I mean, there's a reason I left. I consider myself a good person now, but I'm not proud of some of the work that I saw and observed back then. I don't remember him favorably.
Alfred Agrios. He wasn't exactly. So you would remember that he wasn't outright nefarious, looking to cause harm, but his interest and research in creating arcane constructs always bordered on the, we'll say, disturbed. Always taking it a little too far. Very interested in blurring the lines of life with these constructs.
A bit Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah.
If such a character existed in this world, why yes. Crossover. But Alfred idolized Grimald, one of the founding arcanists. Grimald is credited with being the forefather of the Sentinels and the Guardians in the Athenaeum. You know this from the time you have spent there researching. That wasn't the school of your research necessarily, but Alfred tried to take what Grimald had taught before he passed away and take it to new heights. But you don't remember more than that. A lot of it was rumor, because everyone kind of found him sort of unsettling.
Yeah.
And he would sometimes get in trouble with the other arcanists for taking it too far.
Kendis will relay that to the group. And that's as much as I recall. Much as a lot of it was conjecture, there's no smoke without fire, as they say, so, well, yes. It all speaks for itself, in my opinion.
It seems pretty clear from where I'm sat. My news. I spoke to Ren, the Watchtower Guard Ranger, and he revealed a great deal. I pressed him, I feel, maybe a little too hard, but it worked in my favor. And he gave up information about his past, which wasn't always as positive, should we say. He believes that we can trace this device back to a mysterious location. They call it the Goblin Market. And again, the end of this would be incredibly difficult to pin down.
Where does one find a goblin market? Did your acquaintance give us any clues as to where to start?
A new moon for a start. And someone who basically knows where to find and access this place. He could give me no name.
Would I have heard of the Goblin Market along my travels?
You've heard of different black markets and of smuggling, but you have not actually heard of the Goblin Market yet. No. It's not ringing any bells, not yet. perhaps with more information, something might be familiar. Something might ring a bell, but...
Seems we have two options, doesn't it? Either one will have to leave Glenfarra, at least for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't mind gathering some more information on this market. Do either of you know someone who might know about maybe the shadier sides of trading?
Would Kendis? I mean, like, I don't know. They must have some kind of magical contact, right? Or like way of getting like ingredients or whatever.
I would leave it up to you to determine how much you would condone such illicit trade and activity.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine Marlowe might know someone having traveled with crews and sailors, etc.
You can think of some very shady individuals on the ships that you've served on who might know something about it. But the thing with the Goblin Market, and Bum, you would have conveyed this with the other information, people who go to the Goblin Market do so without the use of their true identities. Because affiliation to this thing is not something you want exposed. So this isn't really something that people speak about freely. If they go, they're not the same person they were when they walked in, or when they return back to wherever it is they came from.
What happens in the Goblin Market stays in the Goblin Market.
Very much so. Under
We don't
pain
talk about
of
Goblin
possible, loss of limb, death, whatever, from what Ren suggested to you, Bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Might lose more
I
than a
explained
finger.
I explained that Rin very much left his identity back there.
Yes.
And this is his new life. And he wants nothing more to do with it. Mm-hmm. Although he said he would be there for us if he discovers anything new. Mm-hmm. So what do you suggest then? Marlowe, we need to find... We could also go to the Athenium. I mean, I don't know how far this is. I only know my knotless wood.
I mean, the Athenium's in Jakul, which is... How far away is that on like boat or however long it would take to get there?
I believe it was, a week or two? About 2 weeks travel by ship.
Mm-hmm. Did they, perchance, give you a direction to go in?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
I can't help but feel like the Athenium is an inevitable stop on this journey, but the Goblin Market is also worth investigating. So it's a case of wherever we go first, I suppose.
What about two birds with one stone?
Please mind your expressions.
Oh, snap.
Apologies.
Cultural insensitivity, much. Dang, Bomb.
Oh, gosh.
You bombed that one.
I do apologise. I'm embarrassed. But if we head to the Athenium, maybe we might be able to gather some information about the market.
True.
What do you think, Marlowe?
I'm just along for the ride. Any information is good information.
How would I deal with a boat, do you think?
I could probably acquire us one.
So, Marlowe, you know that where the ship, the Maristella, dropped you off is not really a port. The bigger ports are going to be farther south. South of Monair, along that southwestern coast. But there is a smaller fishing village that some ships do stop by to the east. You haven't really stopped there, though you've passed by it and you know of it since it is technically a port, given your background. Felbray, on the rockier cliffside coastline, again, farther to the west.
I think chartering a small vessel would do us well, inconspicuous. I also think we should keep our identities to a minimum with other people.
I agree.
I also feel that we should encase the device in a large wooden sculpture of my whittling. No one will ever think to break this open, and I can use it as a guise for trade.
I trust you will provide something adequate, Timbersmith. But I agree. A sturdy but sure and small vessel will serve our interests quite well.
Are we to set off as soon as possible? Or will we be setting off at first light? Because it's getting a bit dark.
There's no time to waste, in my opinion, but
Yes.
let's acquire whatever provisions we feel we need. Some kind of glamour for a disguise might be prudent if we can, but I don't know how possible that is in such short notice.
I can disguise myself instantaneously.
Is that one of Bomb's powers? That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I can't help you at the others though. Maybe some dye on your feathers.
So long as it doesn't permanently change my appearance. Kendis just Kendis is going to pull up their hood, and I wonder, is there any kind of disguise spell, or like, I'm trying to think. I need to bring up a spell list.
Yeah, there's a disguise self spell. It's first level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So you
with
How long does that last? Can anyone remember? Sorry.
I'll
bring
look
up
at
the
it.
spell
Now.
list.
Hang on.
Like an hour?
1 hour.
it's
Yeah.
about an hour.
Yeah.
I can that'll be useful to have, like, as and when. But I think Kendis is just going to travel, cloak, hood up, and like, whatever.
Tucked around the
And
hood,
pull
the
that
cloak
out.
around them.
Pull that out when needed.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than nothing.
Marlowe will do the same because she's fairly certain a watermelon colored tiefling is fairly recognizable.
I feel like we two are like everyone is so distinctive in this group. Like this is
You don't really have anyone who would be able to just blend too easily, do you? This will be interesting.
Even with Arad, we nope.
No, big old shiny metal man. He's lucky he got out of the Athenium.
Oh yes.
Ugh. Okay.
So we take the food in the parcel because we haven't started eating that, and then we head
That's
off, I
actually,
suppose.
that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Right,
Indeed.
we're packing provisions then.
So I would like to
Yeah.
ask each one of you then, as you moving into late afternoon, into early evening now, how do each one of you individually prepare for this? Bomb, Kendis, you're leaving home.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you would want to do before you depart? Because you don't know when you're going to be back. Things you may want to gather from your homes.
Mm-hmm. Lots of magical knickknacks, some key spell books, just bits and bobs, herbs. It ends up being probably rather more than Kendis intended to carry. Like they just show up with like a huge bag that's like, almost the size of themselves. But but like, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those, but maybe this, and then it just piles up into like a whole thing. But I think Kendis would rather be prepared than not. So yeah. and maybe some like just like a protective charm or something around their home, just to like keep everything like safe and enclosed and unnoticeable until they return.
You could do that.
Yeah.
You could even draw a bit more upon your specific colors of magic as a hedge witch to do that if you wish.
Yeah.
So even at 4th level, you have some of those basic abilities to sort of manipulate. As was green or red your primary?
I believe it was green.
And red as a secondary for the our original Iyastera subclass, or class rather, of Hedge Witch. So for the subclasses, green being your primary, green witches are able to unleash the raw magic of nature itself by drawing upon the land's capacity for growth and regeneration. You have a special sort of affinity for nature, specifically through the herbs and the flora that you have cultivated around your home.
Yeah.
So I would definitely think, based off of conversations that we've had before and that sort of morning ritual that you typically use at the start of each day, you'd probably have some protective herbs and plants grown all around your home. I have this idea in mind where things are even growing out of the walls of your home.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, it's very much like, I mean, it's like a tree, right? And so there's kind of just, it's very much just a natural, it's like Kendis is like taking a tree and incidentally it's also their home, but it's still largely like a tree. Like, they haven't really interfered with it too much. Yeah, so like, I guess the leaves just grow over and like maybe some like bark and branches like knot together, and it's kind of like, if you look at it from the outside, you really don't see the entrance at all anymore. You just see a nondescript tree. And
It's
that's
like Radagast.
Yeah, there we are.
Radagast is a green wizard.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I would call Radagast a hedge witch.
I agree.
That makes a lot of
terms.
sense.
Absolutely. You're the burb form of Radagast.
Yep.
Radaburb. But so one of the things that you can do as a green witch at lower levels is something called photosynthesis. So I'm picturing, as you're standing there going through this ritual, breathing in, looking around at this home that you've built when you left the Athenium, reflecting on what it means, how it feels, this prospect of going back. And leaving this home in Glenfarra that you created for yourself. You, just like many others who come to this forest, establishing your own life, a life of growth, a life of renewal, a life of freedom. To practice and learn and develop your craft however way you will. In those warming rays of the afternoon sun, surrounded by all of these herbs, this home that you, in many ways, literally grew. That feeling of healing and renewal and energy kicks in. So with that photosynthesis effect at lower levels, it does help to restore some health. It helps to restore some energy. I know you don't necessarily need health recovery right now in terms of hit points, but you feel that energy almost coming towards you with this glowing green aura from your home as the plant life grows even further to have this protective nest of vines and flowers and herbs and tree branches around your home. Some of that energy going into you, and you can feel that you are carrying a bit of that home with you from this point forward.
And Kendis will like, as a last action, like lay their hand on just like the bark of the tree and just like mutter like a quiet like thank you, and yeah, just have a quiet moment of reflection and take that time.
Very good. Bomb.
Bomb goes to the leaves the pool, like the sort of the pool side or the fishing lake side, and then heads a bit deeper into the North Woods, away from the others, and he goes to his father's tree, and he looks down at the pot around his neck and at the nettles, and he just he says, I think it's time. You know it's time, don't you?
I never thought I'd see the day where we leave the Knotless Grove without a timbersmith. But I think what you're doing is right. This isn't over. And our home is not quite back to normal yet. You have to go. But you're not going to leave your mother behind. You're not rid of me that easy, my boy. You hear a lamp laughing at you in the distance.
That lamp. Yes. I will take nothing with me. I feel I need to leave everything here. I shall just grow a few flowers at the entrance to the cabin to indicate that I've left. And that's what Bomb does. He goes to the entrance of the cabin and he uses Druidcraft to just grow some dandelions, I think. All around the base of the door and around the sides.
In a way that's a bit different from Kendis's green magic. With your green magic, Kendis, at this stage, you can't quite Druidcraft that same way, but you can bring out additional life in something that already exists. As a druid, Bomb, you can create. So these fresh flowers and plant life that grow, they bloom in a very beautiful, bright array of colors, fragrances around your home.
Right. Furbolg to the ocean then, Mother. It's something new again.
As you begin to gather your things, because your mother did nag at you to bring some things.
Yeah.
Food, tools, soap, things of that nature.
I also strap a really big sort of tree trunk section to my back for this device to go inside.
Yes.
I've got my
Very
kind
good.
of my setup, with me, my sort of back straps that I carried the afflicted before with it.
Very good.
Frozen. Yeah. So I'm going to work on that as I go.
As you do this, each one of your relatives, their spirits come up to you, one by one, placing a spectral hand on your shoulder, conferring images, thoughts, feelings of strength, of love, of luck, of protection, everything that your family wishes for you as you begin this new journey, and of confidence, and an eagerness to see you return home. There's some pride in there as well. The Timbersmiths are not really known for leaving and embarking upon the world, or upon, the rest of the world.
I take the woods with me today. Please protect the cabin. It's the last bastion of these woodlands.
They will. Marlowe, this is a very interesting moment for you as well. You, in many ways, feel more at home on the sea traveling, the ground moving beneath your feet, the waves beneath your feet, the wind in your hair, and watermelon horns. You also feel a strange shifting, because for the past over 2 weeks now, almost 3 weeks, because it hasn't been that long since you've arrived, not quite a month, but Baum and Kendis were helping to look after you and Aorad. But now as you begin to start this new journey out into the world, this is your world. You feel a bit of this shift where you are now the one guiding them. Feel a bit of excitement, maybe a bit of nervousness. How do you prepare? How do you think through these thoughts and get ready for this new journey?
So Marlowe is someone who, because she's always at sea or she's always traveling or visiting new places, always only ever carries the bag on her back and the pouches on her belt. So she's likely, while they're packing their provisions, sat outside in a little glen with her pack and her pouches, and she's tucked away in one of her pouches, she's tucked away the little packet of seeds that she's received. And she's looked around. She's been looking around for a squirrel outside, basically.
You're looking for a squirrel?
Yep.
Absolutely.
If
I
find one, I pull out one of the marble, like stone marbles that I'd crafted, and I hand it to the squirrel if it'll take it from me.
So there are a few squirrels who are in the trees here now that life is all returning and the frost is going away. And as you look up to reach out to these squirrels, you hear a strangely familiar chittering sound.
Perfect.
As you see a very familiar, strangely familiar squirrel jump down, almost pushing the others out of the way. It's like, wait, no! I know her! And stands on that little branch just slightly above eye level with you.
So I take out of my pocket, because I have them in my pockets.
Of course you do. You're bringing those with you. You made them.
Yeah. I have those in my pockets, and I also have a stray acorn from Bob.
Yes.
So I hand it the acorn, and then I hand it the marble, and I go, "You look after that shiny lad. You take care of him, and you let him know." Like, I completely knowing, like, hoping it understands me, but completely knowing that it definitely probably doesn't. But I'm like, you let him know where to find us, and that we've set off. But should he need to find us, should he ever need to leave, always go north. And I, like, try to reach over and, like, scritch it.
It lets you. And it kind of leans in a little bit, looks at you, and shoves both the acorn and the marble in his cheeks.
Perfect.
And scampers off, followed by the other squirrels.
Oh.
Amazing.
King of squirrels.
King of squirrels. Oh boy, that's gonna be a thing now. Maybe we need a squirrel emote as well.
Fire squirrel.
Oh my god, yes.
Fire squirrel! Oh boy.
Oh, sorry, no. I shouldn't
Oh
say that.
boy. Huh.
Yeah.
Put a pin in that for later. Okay. So at this point, evening. The sun has already started its slow descent across the sky as you make your way towards that southern watchtower once more. You are going to see Rin one more time, or no?
Are we what? I should probably tell at least one person that I'm leaving. So I think I will tell Hannah that if anyone needs me, I'm going on a trip.
Do you tell her directly or do you leave a note? How do you do this?
I am gonna leave a note.
Okay.
I would just on parchment and put it through their letterbox.
Yeah, perfect. Easily done.
Yeah. I feel like Kendis is too practical minded to say goodbye to everyone because it would just become a whole saga and yeah.
I'll just be a moment. I promised Rin I would speak to him before leaving. He might have something else for me.
Well, depending on the direction you're going, that's probably going to be the easiest way for you to get to Felbury anyway.
Okay.
Because this could actually be a good time for me to bring up... Actually, I'll bring this up after your interaction with Rin, but I have a map.
Ooh.
So, you head south.
It's exciting.
To that southern watchtower. To meet with Rin one more time as the sun is setting. All three of you going?
Guess so.
Yeah, of course. Okay. We will happily accompany you, Bomb.
Good. So, Rin, as you approach, is not up in the watchtower when you arrive, but at the base of the tree. The ladder rolled down, unfurled, waiting for you.
You predicted this then?
I guess you could say I can see a traveler I know a traveler when I see one. Something changed in you when we were talking, Timbersmith.
I feel something approaching purpose.
Well,
yes.
Whenever you get that feeling, you know it's time to leave. Well, I'm glad you all three of you. Head twitch. You're leaving too, eh?
So it would seem this mission seems to have enthralled all three of us. And, well, I can't leave the Timbersmith to do this alone.
No, we should probably look after him.
Naturally.
Well, just because even a head twitch needs looking after. Although, looking at you, Marlowe, I have a feeling you already know the ways of the world a little bit more.
I'm here to give these two their sea legs, if you will.
Ha! Good! Good. Well, I've got some things for you before you leave. Behind him, kind of around the side of the tree trunk, is a crate. He's got some things for you. So, I had a little bit of a conversation with Trezio and Zizi. You know, us Elans gotta stick together, right? Zizi, you may remember from the trading post. She is a tabaxi blacksmith. I can't imagine either of you, Timbersmith and Hedgewitch, ever really carrying a blade, but you might need something.
Go on.
So he throws back the heavy woven blanket that was covering this crate, and you see a small selection of knives, short swords. You see a bow and arrow in there as well. I couldn't really ask for much from Z without, giving things away, but it's not so weird for the captain of the watch to ask for new gear, right? So, take something. Even if it's just to humor me, I know you've got your hocus pocus I know you've got all that, but it'll make me feel better. Go on, take something.
Kendis has the arms crossed.
To Marlowe.
Kendis scans it all with arms crossed and critical eyes, you're correct. This isn't how I prefer to fight, but humor you I will, since you've been so helpful thus far. And Kendis kind of just picks up, I know, a small blade, I guess. I guess it has something I can attach it to my belt with or something.
Absolutely. You've got a scabbard, you've got the belt.
Cool.
So go ahead and mark 1 dagger in your inventory then, if that's all you take.
Uh-huh.
Marlowe, Mom?
Is there anything like a rapier around, perhaps?
You do have a very, it's not quite as elegant as a rapier, but it is a very nicely made curved blade. You do have that sort of cage guard around the hand. It has more of a curve to it than a rapier typically would. And you recognize the style of it as something that some of the Elin sailors would carry, that you've sailed with before.
I pick it up and I kind of feel the weight of it in my hand.
It's strong but light.
Okay. I take that one then.
Excellent. Go ahead and put 1 Elin saber in your inventory.
I don't know how to spell that.
Ila is Ilha. Add an N on the end. Yeah, a little bit of a scimitar.
Scimitar.
Fleetfoot.
Scimitar.
Bomb is already formulating a plan. Now he's observed what the Rangers use. So he's looked at what Rin wields and Liam, and he wants to take both weapons of equivalent. not their weapons, but
right.
I challenge you to a duel.
Yeah.
So
he's not going to do sleight of hand checks.
Yeah. So both do carry bows.
Yep.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Whoa. Springtime is returning to the forest. So, funnily enough, Liam, the Dwarven Ranger, is actually a better archer than Rin. Rin has 2 hatchets, 2 hand axes that are typically strapped to his sides, although he also has a bow.
Bomb takes 2 hatchets from the cache and a bow.
Okay. Rin raises an eyebrow when you do this. You know how to use those, Timbersmith?
Of course.
Well, now I wish I were coming with you. I want to see this. Now you know that the pointy end points away from you, right?
Yeah, so fair, very fair.
Okay. All right. I've got one more thing. And he reaches inside his cloak underneath the armor, the leather armor that he wears. And he lifts up a leather cord that was around his neck. At the end of that cord is a small figurine. It's made of this brilliant aquamarine glass. Marlowe, you've seen this before as a charm, a lucky charm, if you will, that many Elin sailors do wear. I'm also, quick question, I'm still coming through okay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I somehow lost my Pretzel Music's connection.
All right.
So I'm refreshing that. I was wondering what happened to the music. So we'll get that back up momentarily. Because I was having some internet issues this week, I'm very sensitive to when things are not working the way they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Hilariously, both you and my other GM have had internet issues this week.
That's creepy. Okay. There we are. So this pendant around his neck. From one angle, it looks a little bit like a fish. From the other angle, turning it just slightly away from you, it looks like this stylized form of a wave. Of this fluid, almost blue wave, flame-like design. He takes this and holds it out to you, Marlowe. From one traveler to another. I think I might be a little old for this now. You take it.
I'm honored.
I know
And I
you've
put
been
it
on the sea
back.
probably at least as much as I have. But you probably don't have one of these yet.
I can't say I do. Thank you.
May the Sea Father watch over your travels, my friends. Well, you're not getting any closer to that market. Where are you headed? Are you going to the capital? No, you know what? Don't tell me. The less I know, the better.
Yeah, remember, you're leaving it all behind.
Didn't see a thing.
It's all ahead of us.
He
Indeed.
looked sad for a moment. Almost wistful. Be safe. And, hope to see you again someday.
Of course. Keep
Thank
an eye
you for your assistance. It is much appreciated.
It's what we do in Glenfair, right? We're a family.
It's true. It's very true.
Well, I shall resume my post and look forward to seeing nothing of interest for the rest of the evening. Pointedly looking at the three of you. And he just whistles softly to himself. A tune, again, that Marlowe, you've heard some of your fellow sailors whistling, humming, singing. A soft homage to the open seas and the freedom to go wherever the wind takes you. And you embark. So, you are leaving Glenfarra. I've got a little bit of a map. This is not necessarily accurate to your current timeline, if you can see that.
Where am I looking for this?
On the stream. It's on the
Yeah.
stream.
Oh.
However, I need to send it to you folks as well.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Oh, cool. Ah,
Yeah. So this is a
exciting.
little something I put together a while ago for the kids' campaigns, actually. So, zooming in a little bit, Monair, this is Glenfarra.
This map is post. Yes?
This is post. So,
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you exactly what's different about it between post and pre, because that's spoilers. But this is where you were dropped off. Actually, no, right about here is where you were dropped off by the Maristella. Marlowe, you and Arad. Here's the lake with the spring and the mother tree. And you are right here. So it's about 2 days' travel to Cashel,
Yeah.
the capital. But if you're going to Felbray, you are traveling 4 to 5 days, all the way out here.
Yeah.
So you can't really see the roads. The nearest road is actually taking you south. There's going to be a crossing point across the river here, or you can curve around through the hills. But yeah, Felbray's over here.
I didn't quite follow that. I can't see like your cursor moving or whatever.
Oh.
But
Yeah,
that
same.
would make sense. Can I draw? We'll figure it out. It out. I guess I can't really share the screen as easily.
Yeah.
But if you go down, we'll say 1 square below that big bulk of forest at the top, 1 square below, and like 2 to the side.
Yeah.
There's a little corner of land still.
That's a little.
That's where you're going to Felbray.
Okay.
I should have these numbered. I'll number them for next time.
Cool. Nice.
Marlowe doesn't need your numbers.
We'll track your map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Marlowe doesn't need your numbers.
No, you don't. However, you're not as familiar with traveling on land as much. You know the seas, but you haven't traveled through mainland Monair too much.
Actually, talking of that, can I do a survival check and see if I can find the quickest route, knowing the land pretty well?
ooh, that's a good idea.
You can.
At least towards the outskirts of Glenferra.
Yeah, as you're walking, you're along that path, that road. Go do a survival check. We'll say
20.
Natural 20?
No.
Oh, okay. Dirty 20. Okay.
Dirty 20, yeah.
So, Ren sort of vaguely pointed, you're heading west. Between some vague directions. And knowing where the road goes. You've traveled a little bit, but not extensively, we'll say. You know that one of the safest crossing points is going to be farther down until you reach the River Marne, the largest river, kind of bisecting Monair. And there's a crossing point there that takes you through Capal and out to Felbray.
Mm-hmm.
The faster way, however, although it's a little more dangerous, is probably going to be to cut through the hills straight to Felbray. We can pull up that map again.
That's what Bomb would suggest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be as comfortable as a trip, but it does get you there faster.
He's also going to cast Druidcraft and make a sensory effect that predicts the weather for the next 24 hours. So I kind of want to know as we walk through the hills how we're looking in terms of like if there's any storms approaching or anything.
Mm-hmm. You'll be able to do that when you get there.
Yeah.
But it's going to take about 2 days travel for you to get to the hills.
Okay.
And more of the wildlands out there. So we'll say you travel for a bit. You are on foot. And as you get to your first... I mean, it's not going to take long for it to get to nightfall, so you won't really have a full day's travel from this point. But you wanted to go ahead and continue on, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to stop to camp for the evening?
We probably should do.
That's wise.
Mm.
Marlowe, you've slept under the open stars before? Bomb, Kendis? Yep. Don't know how much camping you do.
I mean, other Cockra are like, bird people. They're not totally unfamiliar with the outdoors.
Yep.
But...
Yep.
Bomb can instantly light a fire, so he's going to collect some wood.
Okay.
He always, every time he collects wood, he kind of makes a silent, like, muttering noise when he puts it on a heap, and he's like, sorry about this, sorry, sorry.
Kendis will dole out some of the food and lay out, like, I don't know, placemats, which are just big leaves.
Cinnabomb. He lights the campfire.
Yes.
With his Druidcraft.
Excellent. I imagine that you all brought some food and things with you.
Yeah, we brought the care package.
We brought the provisions from thingy. Yeah.
Granted, that was just meant for Bomb, really, so it's not a ton, but you will have brought some food with you. It's a strange feeling sitting here with your campfire, the three of you together. That morning.
Do you know what this is like?
What?
This is like having move-in day dinner on the floor
Yes,
because you don't have any furniture up.
It's so like that.
absolutely. You were able to find some shelter in a smaller grove of trees. Because there are still trees. This is still... The farther south you go from Glenfair, you're going to reach some plains. But at this stage, you're still on, like, the outer edges. A few hours away from Glenfair itself. There are some trees spotting here and there. There's some brush. As the sun has now set, the stars are popping up in the sky. You've got your fire. Having this meal, probably the last actual Glenfarren fare you'll have for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you want to discuss, talk about? You'll have to figure out watch, or if none of you take watch. Marlowe, what would you recommend to these two newbies?
I will likely take... I will either take first or last watch.
Marlowe, I need to get on with this wooden sculpture. Would you mind if I stayed up later and let you both sleep?
By all means.
And then the early morning you can take over.
Well, Timbersmith, this is it. Hard to say how to feel, I suppose. Didn't think we would be leaving so soon, but here we are.
I shall carve this wood in Eorad's visage to reflect our friend. It will also sell well. In the Athenian.
A fitting image.
So basically, wooden Eorad is eating a spider.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good image.
Little squirrel.
There's a
little squirrel.
strong sense of irony.
Okay. I shall put a squirrel on, don't worry. Marlowe.
A strong sense of irony to that image.
Oh.
You always did have a sharp wit, Timbersmith.
That's one of the only times you'll ever hear him chuckle. Now off to sleep with both of you, and I'll keep an eye across the flames.
Indeed. Well, sleep wits for no one. Good night, both of you. Kendis guffles their feathers and curls up in their cape.
Just kind of the way birds sleep,
so
just
cool.
kind of tucking
Cool.
Little wing over.
Do you stand on one leg, or do you just kind of perch and squat down?
Just perch, yeah.
Do you find one?
it's
Do you perch up
awesome.
in one of the trees?
In one of the trees.
You're roosting.
Up there.
You're roosting.
Imagine being a character. It's so cool that you sleep in. It's just so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Aarakocra is awesome.
So, Kendis, Marlowe, you two
For the
try to
night,
get
for the
some
night.
rest. This very unorthodox, somewhat unexpected turn, but a new adventure nonetheless. Bomb. As you're sitting there carving, what's your passive perception? No reason.
15.
15?
No reason, eh?
Naturally, of course.
And this is where I would ask, to no one in particular, to use a certain chat that the Twitter or the Twitch folks can't see. You want to roll a stealth check for me?
To whom are you asking this?
To the air.
Oh my god. I'm
And
so excited.
go ahead and drop that in
Argonaut.
the Zoom chat for me, please. Roll that stealth check. Get ready for the debut.
Of no one in particular.
Of no one in particular. Oh! So, no one in particular might be drawn to the warmth of this fire. No one in particular might not be quite as careful with their footsteps, and you hear the snapping of a twig and a soft cursing under no one in particular's breath. Kit, come on out.
Who's there?
Does anyone else hear this?
Unmute your mic.
Yep, unmuted.
Excellent.
I think Kendis and Marlowe are sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mhm. For now. So, how do you walk up to this strange sight? You are drawn to the warmth of this fire. You are exhausted.
I think now that also I'm aware that I've not been particularly stealthy, I've stepped on some twigs, I sort of changed my tune from being quite like quiet to walking in like I own the place. I meant to
Just
do
gotta
that.
lean into it.
Yeah, leaning into it. Hello, evening.
Quiet, please, quiet.
Sorry, I didn't realize people were sleeping. Hello, I'm sorry to intrude. I noticed your fire. I was wondering if I might sit for a bit. It's dangerous alone out here.
Mm,
Would you like to describe yourself? I've put the artwork up.
Yep.
on
Yeah,
the
they're
screen.
a quite young elf, red hair, blue eyes, dressed in sort of a dark coat, several earrings.
I was laughing at Jen's comment in the chat.
yes, I-
Dangerous to go alone. Take this whole entire person.
Very well. Sit down and make yourself comfy.
Thank you very much. Fenn. They hold up their hand.
My name is and Bomb thinks about this, whether to give his real name or not. And he chooses not to. My name is Mob.
Wow,
Pleasure to meet you, Mob.
So good, so clever.
Mm,
Already starting with the assumed identities, eh?
where are you hailing from?
I've just come from out east. What about yourselves?
Bomb's really struggling now. He doesn't know how long he can uphold this deception. We're just traveling to the nearby port to trade some of my carvings.
Oh, Felbray, that's where I've just headed. If you need directions or accompanying in any way, I'd be happy to help. You can tell that Fenn's quite eager to not be alone.
Bomb,
I don't see why
roll a
not.
quick insight check for me.
Yeah. Insight. Oh, +5.
I will prompt
Oh,
that
18. 23.
one. Fenn, you might still have some scrapes and bruises from things.
Mm-hmm.
Some things.
Yeah.
Nothing of concern. You're trying to play it off, though. Because you're tough and cool.
Yeah, really cool.
I always find fire reveals a lot, not just the light,
Oh?
but something of the inner workings. I can see you've been in a scuffle.
Yes, indeed. I may have run into a little trouble recently, hence my not wanting to be alone on such a night as this.
I was aware this was a shortcut to our destination, and inevitably that brings its own dangers. I'm about to wake my companion, as I've been up for a long time. And I'll allow them to get the measure of you.
Of course.
And decide if you are to accompany us.
Very well.
This is the most chill reaction to a stranger approaching your fire in the night on your first night really away from home I have ever seen.
And Bomb kind of walks over to Marlowe and just shakes her shoulder a little bit.
Oh, was it not Kendis taking last watch?
Oh, is it Kendis, was it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think Marlowe said she'd take last watch.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think it's Kendis.
So he kind of just pulls on one feather very lightly.
Kendis isn't on a very tall branch, like high up branch, so like Bomb's probably tall enough to just like reach up and like tap them like on the foot or whatever.
He kind of shakes the branch
like,
slightly.
Yeah, there you are. What? Oh, it's my turn to watch already. And then like Kendis like blinks open the eyes and like looks at Fenn and is suddenly like very wide awake and like reaches out a hand glowing with magic. Who goes here?
Easy.
We have company, Timbersmith. Are you harmed? What's going on?
Just a stranger wishing to share some warmth. That was it.
You seem very calm. What do your instincts tell you?
You know that mob's instincts are never very good.
Mob.
That's fair. Okay. I'll deal with this. Who are you? And what do you want?
Hello, I'm Fenn. As I was just saying to your companion Mob here, I was traveling alone, which is rather dangerous, and I was hoping for some company, some warmth from the fire, safety in numbers and all that, considering where we are.
You appear to have realised safety in numbers a little late. What brings you out here on your own in the first place?
Avoiding trouble behind me.
And this trouble isn't following you now, right into the midst of our safe little camp?
I'm pretty sure I've lost them.
Pretty sure? Isn't 100% certain.
I mean, can one be 100% certain of anything in this life?
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, Kendis.
If you brought danger to our I love how Bomb gave an assumed name, but it's just bully.
He's not intelligent at all.
Anyway.
Yeah. He kind of apologizes twice. He's like, I'll go to sleep.
Yes, you do that, Timbersmith.
Well, unfortunately.
Well, best laid plans and all that. I'm not getting much of a lead on this, but what's the nature of the trouble you've left behind? Anything we should be wary of?
Well, no trouble for a group together, I assure you. More. Originally, I had been as smart as you all and was in a group, and they turned on me. So I've been
almost on cue. I don't know if you heard that music change. But
oh yeah.
As you lay down, trying to figure out what happens next, Fenn, right as you say, oh, well, it should be fine. A crossbow bolt lands inches from your head.
Oh my gosh.
As you're laying down. we're going into combat. As you were talking,
I'm sleeping.
there are not anymore.
I want to say though, when Marlowe sleeps, her tail does that thing that cats do, where it kind of like swishes.
That is precious and adorable, and I love it. There are 4 figures that immediately step out from the shadows, all around the fire now. As they come closer to the fire, weapons drawn, that crossbow bolt towards you, Bomb, was a warning shot, snapping you immediately back into consciousness. The others, swords, axes, a spear, another bow, all pointed at you in a ring around you. Fenn, 2 of them look very interesting, very familiar, being the larger, kind of gruff human and elf that you met previously, that you had hoped you had escaped. The human is still missing a tooth from your encounter, or now missing a tooth. The elf has some bloodied bandages around an arm and scowls at you. He says,
I'm gonna mouth sorry at Kendis.
Kendis turns to Fenn and goes, left them behind, did you?
Alright, you rat, you think you found some friends? You're coming with us, dead or alive. And we're in combat. So, they are going to
One
go
good
ahead.
reason. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't hand you over right now for all this trouble.
You look like a good person.
The larger human, Bosco, you remember the name, or you thought was the name, is going to lunge out and immediately go on the attack.
I just want to say Marlowe is very likely a heavy sleeper. I'm just saying.
It's up to you
She's
if you
been
want to
on
wake
many
up
a
at this
sea.
point. If you want to wake up
He's
at
been
this
on
point.
many seas, rocky, stormy seas.
I'll let you decide when you would wake up, but those voices were fairly loud when they challenged Fenn. That's a 15 to hit, Fenn.
Yeah, that hits.
As this thug brings out the spear and just lunges out at you first with the butt to try to clip you on the side of the head. It hits. That's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9 points of bludgeoning damage to the head.
Nice. Ow.
You just hear Marlowe mumbling in her sleep. She's like, Roscoe, the crew is at it again.
The elf, holding a crossbow, looks at you, Kendis, just sees an Aarakocra. It's gonna fire again at Bomb, being the largest of the group and the one he already fired at. It's gonna come after you. It's a 14 to hit.
Yep.
Hits.
Yep.
That is going to be 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
The others are standing by for now.
Ugh.
You now have a chance to respond. Fenn, Kendis, Bomb, Marlowe, it's up to you whether or not you're awake or not. But going into how we have been doing this is a response. They got the first attack, the first round, because they snuck up on you. So now you have a chance to respond as a team. Fenn, you're
Everyone
probably going to
wakes
be a
Marlowe
little
all
bit
wake up.
slower because you just took a blow to the head.
One kind of gathers power in both hands, and he does 2 things. He uses Druidcraft as an instantaneous cantrip and shakes the ground beneath Marlowe, where she's near the tree,
Okay.
like a mini earthquake.
Yep.
Why
And
is it
he-
my turn for the watch?
Wake up, wake up!
Marlowe, for goodness sake, wake up!
I'm up! What?
Yeah.
And I like see the people and I'm just like,
And with the other hand, he casts Bark Skin on himself.
Excellent. So go ahead and take that armor class increase
Yeah.
then. Very good. Kendis, Fenn, what do you do?
I'm gonna cast a spell. I basically can I only cast spells related to my schools of magic?
No, so you get those additional abilities as class features for your schools of magic. Do you have that page up in front of you?
I've got the Hedge Witch guide, so
Perfect,
this is
yeah.
where I come into, yeah.
Yep, no, that's totally fine. So you are able to choose from the wizard spells,
Yep.
focusing on the red and the green, of course, being, more natural spells, but then also evocation, the more destructive elemental side. At this stage, you have your photosynthesis feature as a green witch, and you also have your elemental burst. As a reaction, you can expend 1 spell slot to create a 15-foot burst of energy fueled by the element of your choice. That is a red witch feature. That's as a reaction, however, upon being hit or an attempted strike against you.
Okay. Since I'm just attacking of my own volition, can I use Ice Storm?
Yes, absolutely you can. Go ahead and use Ice Storm. So I think that's an area of effect, right?
Yep, 300 feet.
Ho 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 ho! Alright, you're just gonna rain some hail down on everyone then.
Yep.
Thank you for laughing at that, Jenn.
So yeah, I'll go for, I guess that's just going to attack everyone within range in front of us, right?
Yes, however, because they're surrounding you, if you're going to drop that down, Fenn, Bomb, Marlowe, you will have to take some dexterity saving throws. But you can bring down...
That's fine.
Bring down the ice storm. Each creature in this cylinder, it's a 20-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder. We'll say that they're going to be in range. Each creature must make a dexterity saving throw against your spell save DC, which should be wisdom plus 8 plus your proficiency.
Wisdom plus 8. Wisdom is 18, 9, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 6. So my wisdom is 18 plus my modifier.
Oh, your modifier, your wisdom modifier. Sorry, 8 plus your wisdom modifier plus proficiency.
8, 9, 10, 12. So that's 12. I actually don't know what my proficiency is, so it's at least 12.
Your proficiency should be 2?
2, yeah.
Okay, so 14 to beat.
Okay, yep. So, dexterity saving throw to beat 14.
12.
On a failed, you get full damage, 2d8 bludgeoning damage, and 46 cold, or half as much on a successful save.
I'm very sorry. I kind of just...
No. This is a reaction.
This is just like, yeah.
Very much
it's like, we just left. Hell no. So,
I 16, I passed, so...
Good.
Yeah, bomb!
Okay.
Nice.
Anyone?
Marlowe,
we both
are
passed.
you awake? Did you wake up? I think you woke up. So, go ahead and roll your dexterity saving throw as normal then, because you're awake now.
Yep. Marlowe's gone from like 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's rolling.
Let's roll for these.
Dex saving throw?
Yep.
That was nat 20, so 26.
Nice. Good job, Marlowe.
Nice.
What the heck?
Fenn.
We trust
That's
you.
so badass.
That's
You literally
really
just woke
good.
up.
Yeah,
That's
literally
incredible.
so like groggy, like.
Like rolling out the side.
You're kind of used to sleeping with one eye open as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, quick
this is Marlowe's
reflexes.
instincts coming
Yeah.
into play here. Definitely.
Sharp.
Like
Good job, Marlowe.
autopilot.
Fenn.
21.
21?
Oh,
Very
yes.
good. Marlowe and Fenn, ready to go. Bomb, you got 15. You also made it.
Yep.
The human who had attacked you, Fenn, Bosco, failed.
Yes.
The elf got a natural 20, actually. And the other two cloaked figures, who you have not fully seen yet, they got a 14 and a 13. So
wrong.
2 of them succeeded with half damage. Kendis, would you like to roll the damage, or would you like me to?
You can do it.
Okay, so this is going to be 2d8 bludgeoning damage and 46 cold damage. Rolling so many dice! Oh my gosh, gotta
You
pick
have
good
actual
ones.
dice, so it's probably a little easier for you to do.
I have
But
lots of
otherwise, I'm
dice.
just gonna...
This is
Yep.
one of the exciting things about being a GM, because I can roll
Yep.
more dice than I typically would as a player, because I don't often play spellcasters. Okay, so that is going to be 10 points of bludgeoning damage for anyone who failed that.
Yeah, we... Whoa, go Kendis.
And
Just let-
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 points of cold damage. So that's a total of 27 for anyone who failed. Oh, okay.
Good job. Good job.
Okay.
Cleverly
Yeah,
passed.
27 for anyone who failed. Half that rounded. So that's going to be 13 for people who succeeded. So those of you who succeeded, 13 points of total damage.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. It was a reactional thing. It's good. Okay.
Good. That's very good. Let's mark that down. Ice Storm, dang.
I think you nearly wiped out 2 of them. 1 attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 of them are looking pretty rough.
Yeah.
Kendis
rough.
is powerful.
Yeah, right.
Behold my
Slut.
power.
Don't mess with the head witch.
And that'll be 13 for the others. Excellent. Okay. Fenn.
I'm gonna draw my sword and go for Bosco.
Okay, go for it. Roll your attack. How does your sword look?
It's a pitch black rapier.
Oh. Don't show Marlowe.
And 16.
16 hits.
Nice.
Roll for damage and any other effects you may have.
So that is 11 damage.
Very good. How do you like to finish this guy off?
Since I presume he's quite close to me still, because he whacked me around the head, just a quick, clean stab straight forwards, straight through the torso.
Yep. As you do so, you are filled with glee. This righteous feeling of delicious revenge. Kendis
Nice.
is your standing closest. There's something weird about this sword. You never saw them draw the sword. It's just sort of there.
Oh.
Very good. One down. Marlowe, are you going to be awake enough for an attack, or are you going next round?
Am I gonna be awake enough?
You're awake enough to dodge.
She
What
dodge,
are
yeah.
you doing? There are 3 still up. You
So
just watched
Marlowe
Fenn take one out.
is like wiping the sleep from her eye and like whips her arm out, and then like the arms of her hand crossbow like snap to place.
Nice.
Van Helsing.
So she's just like, and just like at like the who is it? The elf who's still up?
Elf and 2 other cloaked figures.
Yeah, we
But yeah,
can't
the
see
elf's up.
Who is anyone in combat with someone else?
The elf was firing a bomb, but the ice storm kind of crushed everything.
I'm gonna shoot at the elf.
Okay. Go for it. Roll your attacks.
Does a 16 hit?
16, yes.
Or wait, yeah, okay.
16 hits.
9 piercing.
9. Very good. Okay. Hey, how's the quality of this stream right now? Still good?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
we're
It's
still
fun.
going. Okay. Cool. All right. 9. Very good. So it's their turn again. As your bolt sinks into their side, the elf whips around, shouts to the other 2, "Run! Get out!" they're gonna start to retreat as this elf then turns to you, Marlowe, and casting the crossbow aside, rushes at you with a dagger. The 16 hit.
Meets it.
Oh, okay, that's right. Your armor class is stronger, isn't it? You're gonna take 6 points of piercing damage.
Is Hellish Rebuke a reaction?
It is. It is.
How does that work?
So, as a reaction, you are able to unleash that inner, they call it infernal, whichever element you're going for here. That fire, that burst of energy basically comes back out and inflicts damage upon them instead. So, Hellish Rebuke. You point your finger, or since they're right in front of you, who's going for your throat. So we'll say the creature that damaged you is momentarily surrounded by hellish flames. They must make a dexterity saving throw. Or take 2d10 fire damage, or at least half as much on a successful save. So he rushes towards you, trying to slash your throat. Just get anything you can. You feel it start to break the skin, and your anger just immediately flares up. What color are your flames?
So Marlowe's eyes turn red, and the flames are like a putrid green, like a neon green.
Oh, that's good.
Nice.
Like Wicked Witch of the East kind of green.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's really cool.
I love it. Witchfire.
Just like
Quickfire.
Very good. Okay. So, dexterity saving throw. We would need a DC for you. So what would your spell save DC be, I suppose?
how do I calculate that?
I think it's 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your spellcasting modifier.
Yeah, which for you, I'll let you choose either wisdom or intelligence based off of your own class.
So 13?
Yeah, probably intelligence for you. That's gonna be your stronger. 12.
Hey!
That's a frickin' 12!
Hey!
Nice.
That's lame, that's what that is. That's lame.
2d10.
2d10.
D10.
Use those shiny dice you've got there.
Those.
8 plus 7, so 50.
Wow. Annihilated.
He screams as you're just... I don't even know how to describe those green flames again.
They're like a putrid, like neon
You
green.
said just piercing, biting flames completely envelop him to the point where it's burning so hot that the flames are coming out of his mouth as he is screaming in pain and crumbles to a burned, charred husk.
Oh my god. That's dark.
It is dark and I love it.
But as that's happening, Marlowe grabs the like dagger that he has as her throat, and it's just like, who's next?
So those other two bandits, seeing the first one die at Fenn's blade, already started retreating. Bomb, Kendis, I would say that you have one shot for an attack of opportunity, because you both have range, to try to lash out at them or let them go as Marlowe spins around with this bloodied blade in her hand, eyes still shining red from that
Her
Hellish
own
Rebuke.
blood on the blade.
Yep, and Fenn, you don't want to let them go. You're itching to chase them, but it's up to you if you're going to give in to that.
I mean, I don't think I would actually physically run after them to use the sword, but I might cast a ranged spell.
Anyone who's got range, I'd say you've got a few seconds.
I can hold them. It's just whether we want to. This isn't our fight. We don't know who's in the right here and who isn't. Like, do we really want to kill these people? Should we question them?
Take the dagger that I'm holding
Yeah.
and throw it. So, like, if any of them has any, like, loose clothing or cloaks running past a tree, I want to throw it to pin them to something.
Ooh, that's going to be a tricky one. Roll for a ranged attack. Yeah. Anyone else?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'll-
cast Wind Wall.
Oh,
wall of-
snap! Bring on that red witch.
And I'm trying to block them in with that.
Nice.
So I just need to work out what to roll for that.
And I'm throwing my dagger as well, like Marlowe.
I rolled a 19.
I rolled a crit.
Oh, hey!
You got a nat 20 with the dagger that you just picked up today?
Good job, Bum. Nice.
Ooh, boy.
Vital.
So, yeah. Bomb, you're probably trying to do about the same thing that Marlowe was.
Mm-hmm.
With a nat 20, you are able to pin.
Okay.
Because it is dark now, as well. Although Marlowe, I believe, do tieflings have dark vision?
Yes.
Is that one of those weird ones where they don't? No, you
they
do. Dragonborn weirdly don't, I think.
Yes.
That's right. Weird. I think an Iyastera Dragonborn have dark vision, because that makes sense.
Checks out.
Mm-hmm.
Do they also have tails?
I mean, I would say yes, unless there's a reason not to. Maybe, it probably depends. It depends. But we're gonna get into the Dragonborn lore later, I think. No one's redeemed a lore drop yet. So, with the wind wall in action, because it's just this wall of strong wind that rises from the ground at any point. You can make the wall go up to 50 feet long, 15 feet high, and 1 foot thick. You can shape it in any way you wish. So you can have that wind wall going. So we'll say with the combination of all of this, how would you shape it, Kendis?
Well, I guess these two are pinned to a tree now by like daggers, right? So the wind wall is. Oh, go on. Sorry.
I would say that they worked together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the wall just forms. The wind wall just forms like a kind of circle around them, and just like
Yes.
Cages them in.
Yeah, exactly.
So your wind wall would have taken effect very quickly with your casting time, because I imagine, were already putting that into place once you saw that they are going to be retreating. Wind wall goes up, forces them backwards into Marlowe's blade, and bomb, positioning them, and you are able to pin one of them to a tree. 19, you still hit, so roll for your damage. One
was
of
a
these
dagger.
folks did take full damage from that
I
hailstorm.
know. Yeah.
Seven.
7, down.
All right.
The wind buffets them into your blade as it's rushing for them. One is down, now just bleeding out on the ground. The other is pinned
Oops.
to the tree.
Oh.
So you've got 3 bodies now. The wind wall going, and one to the tree. So the one pinned to the tree. That was an abrupt change in music. I meant to do a fade out there. Oops. The one pinned to the tree looks at you in fear now. Whatever they had planned clearly went horribly, horribly wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Fenn? You have this vision in your mind of holding that blade up to their throat as they're pinned there at the tree, and you want nothing more than to do just that.
I think I'm gonna, even though I'm hating resisting this feeling, I want to do it so bad. I'm like, I don't want to put off these new people that are now outnumbering me. I'm gonna let them take the lead on this one. I want to seem non-threatening. I'm cool.
I look over at Bob and Kendis, and I'm like, I don't suppose this is how you wanted to bid farewell to Glenfarah.
Sorry.
Not
This
exactly.
is not how I anticipated our first night on the road. And you lot, and Kendis like turns and looks at Fenn and the guy in the tree and just like gestures to the whole mess. Is like, you had all better start talking right now.
Others like
Totally puffed up.
Yeah, very
Intimidation mode on.
Yes.
And they are intimidating.
Bomb slightly real steps back as well. He's rarely seen the hedge witch that kind of furious.
Yeah.
Marlowe turns and looks at the new arrival for the first time, because I think this is the first time that she would have noticed them in all the hubbub.
I suppose you want this explanation from me? I mean, I feel like it's pretty clear these guys...
What did you do to them to draw their ire in such a way?
There's a... Well, we were working together, and there's something I have that they wanted. They wanted to take it from me.
Mm-hmm. And you turns to the guy in the tree, pinned to the tree. What do you have to say for yourself?
Please, don't kill me. Please.
I'm not in the business of killing. Usually.
Spill your guts. I will spill yours.
Are you talking to them? The pinned?
To the pink figure, yeah. I'm going to do an intimidation check, if that's all right.
Do intimidation with advantage. Because we threw that dagger. Laser focused. Pin him to a tree.
16.
16 with advantage?
Yeah.
That's high. This person, now that the cloak has kind of fallen back, they actually look fairly young for a human male. Has a scar kind of across his bottom and top lip on the side of his mouth. Looks old. Just looks at you very, very fearfully now. They hired us. I don't know that person. I don't know about any of this. They said they needed help. They said something was stolen from them, so I'm helping. Don't kill me, please. Don't kill me.
There'll be no more bloodshed this night. It's but a youngling. We're not looking for trouble. That's exactly what we were hoping to stay out of. And Kendis turns back to Fenn and goes, "You've brought us into the middle of some dodgy business."
I'm sorry. It was not my intention. I didn't think I was being followed.
But they never do.
And you
True.
especially, Fenn's going to turn to Marlowe, because I think Marlowe's the only one that was actually hurt by these guys. Everyone else was hurt by the hail. I'm so sorry
Sorry.
you got hurt because of this. Don't I know you? I've seen you before. I'd recognize those colors. I've seen you down at the docks.
Would
You know this person, Marlowe?
I don't associate with them.
Marlowe.
I mean, you probably wouldn't remember me, but you're particularly distinct in your look. I doubt there are many other tieflings in your coloring. I've definitely seen you.
Hey, Marlowe. What was that name of the ship that you served on leaving Tashkil?
The last one or
The first.
the first? What was the name of that ship? I don't know that we ever found one.
Give it a name.
Now that you come to think of it, Fenn does look familiar from those earlier days when you were sailing around Tashkil. You remember a
When I was
stowaway.
a kid. When I was
Maybe not the very first one, not the first one. This is Fenn's first ship, but probably not actually yours, because I think you're a little older. But you remember
I mean, I'd been
something
traveling
about a
since I was
stowaway.
like a teen.
Yeah. Something about a stowaway. About a
Marlowe's my age, for the record.
I'm not actually sure who's older, because Fenn is baby for an elf, but elves are old.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
We're probably similar in age.
I think tieflings age the same as humans.
It would have been about a year ago. Oh, maybe we didn't have a name for that ship
I don't think we ever
that
came
you
up with
sailed
one.
on. Ah, okay. Well, you do remember a red-haired stowaway on the ship when you were passing through Tashkil. When you're passing by the port city of... Oh my gosh. You'll get there. We'll get there. That's backstory. I don't know where those notes are at the moment. I had it up. But yes, you remember a red-haired stowaway. As you were thinking about that, though, can I go home? Can you just let me go, please? I'm sorry. I promise you, I don't know what's going on. He looks more and more panicked as he's sitting there.
Kendis feels pretty bad for this, like, quite young kid. They're thinking of, like, you know, the kids in the village, England Fairer, and kind of just feeling a little, I don't know, not really able to listen to the slight panic any longer, and just kind of walks over and, like, yanks the dagger out and just goes, "You'd best get out of here and don't give us any more trouble, and don't tell anyone what happened here. Just be gone, and
I'm leaving.
we'll call
I'm
it."
leaving. I'm gone. I'm sorry. I'm gone. What are you gonna do
Godspeed.
with them? Pointing to the bodies.
Are they dead or are they unconscious?
To be fair, I think it's only 2 bodies because one of them is charred.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one is
So-
just completely.
One is Ash.
Demented.
Fenn, yours is, I'm guessing, dead?
Oh, dead.
Dead. Very dead.
Very much.
Yeah.
So, for humanoids, sentient adversaries, I like to use the same rules that we use for you as the players. So they drop down to 0, but then you decide, is it going to be a killing blow or knocking them unconscious? Fenn, yours is dead.
I'd like the other two to be unconscious. We never really set out to kill anyone. This was purely self-defense.
One's charred.
That was
that
self-defense.
That was self-defense.
Yeah.
So the other is then unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
And in a very rough form.
Do what we can healing-wise and send them on their way to fear not, child. This conflict has gotten far out of our control, and we will set right what we can, as well as getting to the bottom of this particular mystery. And again, looks over at Fenn with a critical eye.
Oh, okay. And he just bolts.
Mm-hmm.
Just bolts. Picks up the short sword that he had in his hand before the dagger pinned him to the tree and the wall of wind and all that good stuff. And he lost the grip. He picked it up and just bolts.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't even bother sheathing it. Runs off into the night, southward.
Marlowe's eyes narrow, and she still feels like a little bit of blood trickling down. And she turns towards Fenn and goes, "A crossbow out. What is it that you've done, stowaway?"
Also, it's the port city of Sonu. The city of Sonu, leaving the westernmost coast of Teshkiel. I found it. Sonu.
We can't leave these bodies out here. Leave me to sort this out. And Bomb goes to the side, up into the top of the hills. And he's going to do something with some wildlife.
Mm-hmm. Thank you kindly, Timbersmith. Can we heal the unconscious one?
I have no ability for this, but you may.
I'm sure I've got some kind of healing thing, right?
Mm-hmm. You should.
Do. Oh, I can do. Can I do cure wounds? I know he's like pretty badly banged up, but like, you know.
You can. If that's a spell that you would have learned, then yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, Kendis has done cure wounds before, right? Like, didn't they heal Marlowe's hands in like the first thing? So like, it's a fairly established. That would be like a head twitch thing.
That makes sense. I would be shocked if you didn't have some sort of healing.
Okay,
given
for sure.
your focus.
Yeah.
Your cure wounds, because remember, hedge witches are also more practical, a little bit more tactile, based off of how we've discussed that you express your magic. Your cure wounds manifests in the way you use the herbs at your disposal. So you bring that further healing essence from the tools and the things that you use and you make. So when you healed Marlowe, that's what you did. You used your kit.
Yeah.
So you can do the same thing here.
Yeah. So I'll just be on the ground, packing in some like poultice or whatever, and like just fixing this person up, and then I don't know. I'll let these lot carry on with their conversation.
Yeah. In response to Marlowe's question, Fenn will just be like, "I didn't take it from them. I know that's what they clearly said to that kid, but I mean, we got it together. I mean, I was in a bit of a scrape back at the market and they helped me out, and I thought we were, pals. Clearly they wanted to take it from me. Maybe they were...
What is it precisely?
Fenn will reach like into their coat and pull out a sort of a tightly bound book. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't opened it, but it's definitely odd.
Is this book, would I know if this book is arcane in nature? Would I be able to detect magic from this book?
Roll an Arcana check. It is tightly bound. and there is a thicker band.
I get advantage on Arcana checks, don't I?
Yes, you do.
22.
22. Yes. You don't know what it is, but yes. There is something definitely arcane about this book. And the lock. The kind of latched
A lock?
band
You say?
around it. Yes, there is a lock around this book. So it's hard to tell what color this book is or was, but it is completely wrapped and bound in this darker sort of cloth, and there's a thicker band of almost like woven metal around it with like a locking mechanism.
How long have you had this in your possession?
Not long. We're traveling together a little. How long's it been since we got back to Filbury? Not long. I mean, I haven't been able to open it.
You've tried then?
Lockpicking isn't exactly my area of expertise.
It's your lucky day, isn't it?
Oh?
I would like to try to pick the lock.
Try to pick the lock.
I am proficient in thieves' tools.
You are.
Does a natural 20 do it?
What's your total with the natural 20?
What do I add to that?
That'll be for your sleight of hand. Using the proficiency from your thieves' tools.
26 with the proficiency in thieves' tools, whatever that gets me.
Okay. So, this is a tricky one. A natural 20 usually means success.
Mm-hmm.
To a degree. Not everything with a natural 20 is going to be a complete resounding success, depending on the context of it.
I'm also proficient in sleight of hand, if that means anything.
You are. So what I will say, yes, Fleetfoot Whack, Marlowe is specifically designed for this exact interaction, and the dice do agree. You, with your tools, are able to navigate this weird, because it's not a traditional lock that would have like a tiny key fitting to it. There's just a small sliver of an opening there. Almost looks like the eye, like the slitted pupil of a snake's eye. With your tools, you are able to navigate the inner workings, and you feel each tiny, delicate click. Click. Turning carefully. This is a very complicated sort of lock. And as soon as you think that you're at that last kind of tumbler within that lock to turn, you technically did pick the lock, but I'm also gonna have to have you roll a dexterity saving throw.
You got it.
The book bites back.
Is it a mimic?
Absolutely does.
24.
24. You feel a jolt coming through the heart of this lock as this electric charge of energy ripples across the book from the lock, jutting out or lancing out through your lockpick to you. You're rolling super high. So you're not taking full damage.
Yeah.
Yes, you're taking half damage. I gotta roll some dice here.
Ooh.
It's a handful. Oh, okay, you got a 1 and a 3 in there, so that works in your favor. 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 26 would have been the total. Half to 213.
That's good because I would
Thunder
have been
damage.
down.
Of thunder damage with this.
I'm fine. Fine.
How much health do you have left?
It's the single digits. It's fine.
Oh no! I can cure
I'm fine.
wounds.
So you were able to pick the lock and set off this defensive spell, we'll say. But it's still not opening. But that charged spell has now been set off.
Splendid.
There's something else about this book that's preventing it from actually opening.
I hand it over to whoever's closest to me, probably Kendis, because I presume that there might be some sort of enchantment on it.
Can I check that out?
You can.
What would I go, like an investigation?
Arcana. You don't have identify or anything prepared.
What do you mean? What, like a identify what? Oh, let me have a look.
Spell. Is that one that you took?
Let me
I
look
shouldn't
through the
ask.
list.
That's me guiding you.
It was alright. I was my next thing before I did investigate. I was gonna say, can I use a spell here? But I was just trying to buy myself some time to have a look and work out what I have. The only thing would be detect magic.
Okay.
Well, I mean that's not really anything. Yeah, there's nothing really in this arsenal that's going to be helpful here. I don't think. Unfortunately.
Okay. So do an Arcana check. You can absolutely do an Arcana check.
Oh, that's pretty good. What's my modifier for that? I always forget between intelligence. That's wisdom, right? Intelligence.
That one's intelligence,
okay.
Yeah.
That is a 19.
That's a 19?
Mm-hmm.
There is something... Okay, so yes. It is definitely arcane in nature.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to tell. Hard to truly discern the nature of it. But there's something vaguely necromantic about it.
Ooh, necromantic.
We'll say ambiguous necromancy.
Mm-hmm.
And it does not want to open. And that's a weird thing, too. You get the sense that it doesn't
Sentient.
want to open. I'm not going to say sentience, but whatever. Yeah. With the 19. But that lock now is completely offset. You get the sense that that was one layer of defense that is now gone from this book.
I mean, this seems to be beyond my current abilities. I'm sure with some research I could find something to open it, but it seems we're messing with forces beyond our current understanding. I'm not sure I would really want to open this now, especially being depleted energy-wise as we are, and amongst new unknown companions, and all manner of different factors just make me think that trying to force us anymore is not the best idea. Seems harmless enough to carry with us. We can work it out on the way. Does anyone have any objections?
Harmless enough. Now.
What?
After Marlowe had disengaged the lock.
Marlowe saved whoever would have tried to open that lock
Yeah,
again.
right.
Mm-hmm.
While everyone's doing this, Bomb's up in the hills, and he's using Beast Bond to locate a carnivore or a group of carnivores.
So luckily for you, there actually is a pack of wolves that lives and hunts around this area. More in the plains, a little bit farther to the east. But there are wolves.
Yeah, it extends 150 feet, but it's not a huge amount.
Do you have, do you have like commune with nature or anything like that? You know that there are wolves in this part because you've heard them at night. They won't go in Glenfarra, but they are along the outskirts usually. So you know that there are wolves.
I'll see if I can bond with one telepathically. Even if it's like a fox or something. It doesn't have to be a wolf, but
Okay.
anything that eats meat.
And this is your beast bond?
Yeah.
Okay. How would we... Not necessarily going to make you roll for it. You establish a telepathic link with one beast you touch that is friendly to you or charmed by you. The spell fails if the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher. The link is active while you and the beast are within line of sight of each other. Go ahead and roll just a general animal handling for me. Either that or nature, which is wisdom based for us.
Animal handling's +7, so I'll use that.
Yeah.
12, 19.
Okay, that's good. I need to look up the intelligence rating. So if it's 4 or higher, it does fail.
After a dim-witted carnivore.
What did you roll?
19.
19. Okay. Well, actually, wolves only have a 3 intelligence, as do foxes. We're gonna say it is... We're gonna say it is the wolves. One of them. Because they are in this area.
Scouting.
They would be. And as wolves do sometimes scavenge, they may have been drawn to this area. The sounds of fighting, whatever, the smell of blood that had been spilt. They're far enough away because there's a fire. And they're not just going to randomly attack. Wolves don't do that. But we'd say you would be able to convey... What are you conveying to the wolves? Let's have it in your words.
I say, or I telepathically say, when the fire is down, when the fire dies down, clean the land and fill your bellies.
Okay. As far as you know, that message has been received.
Okay. I walk back to the group.
When he was doing that, I turned to Kendis and I go, do you remember when you stitched up my arm when we were at Bombs? Could you do something about this? And she points to the cut on her neck.
It's still bleeding.
Yeah.
You're not bleeding out. Missed the major, arteries.
Arteries, yeah.
Veins, rather. But yeah. The jugular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Of course. Why didn't you say so sooner? And then just flitters and just yeah.
How many
takes a
spell
bunch of the
slots do you have?
I've got at least 4, right, for level 4.
For level 4, yes. You have 4 cantrips, 4 first level, and 3 second level. Yeah.
Can I do cure wounds again?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Cool.
Very
So
good.
there we go.
Cure wounds.
Mm-hmm.
And we can roll to see how much.
How many hit points are you down to, Marlowe? Do we
8.
need? Oh shit.
So cure wounds heals 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier, so plus your wisdom modifier.
Cool. So 1d8. Do. That's 8 points.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice. You heal 8 points.
Can I spend a hit die?
Yes, you can. This will count as a short rest. It was
Great, because that was an 8.
hey.
Nice.
We know it was meant to be a long rest, but things happened.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to spend one as well.
Yeah, I will as well. I
Go
was
for
hit
it.
quite a few times. in
Go
that
for
fight.
it. You are now sitting here in a rather awkward silence around the somehow still burning fire. It has died down. It's not as strong as it was before.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly because of an ice storm.
Okay.
But rather awkwardly now, healing up, resting. Unspoken questions will be left unanswered.
Yeah, I mean, Fenn is still here, I guess.
Yeah, they're just sort of sat awkwardly to one side. I think they're most scared of Kendis.
Rightly so.
They're
Kendis
staying away
really-
from Kendis.
Rightly so.
Kendis really popped off tonight. I don't really know where that came from. It's
Yes.
just like...
It's awesome.
Oh,
It worked out well.
Mm-hmm.
it actually did, yeah.
You know your companions well.
I am sorry about all the extraneous damage. But anyways, yes. I suppose that's just the start of all the trouble we might well come up against on this path we found ourselves on.
So sorry, everybody.
It's possible we
Welcome to
needed
the
a test.
story.
I mean, I suppose the easiest way to keep you out of trouble might just be to have you come along with us, much as I am loath to say it.
Their eyes light up.
Stowing away seems to be our MO, doesn't it?
Truly.
The sword is still in your hand.
Yeah, I'll sheathe it. I think I just hadn't noticed it was still in my hand.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't.
Yeah, now that I notice, I'll put it away. Thank you very much for keeping me around. If you need any help with anything at all, I'm more than happy to.
Well, I'm sure we'll be calling in that favour soon enough. Don't you worry.
I'd be happy to.
At least we have another rotation for the watch too. A little more sleep for all of us. bright sides and everything.
Talking of that, I'm desperate for some shut-eye.
You and me both.
And I think this is probably a good time then, as you are, however you are able to sleep after this. Perhaps you move camp and let the wolves move in. Perhaps you put a little
Is Kendis taking first watch? over a new
I think Kendis is pretty wired. I think Kendis would be happy to stay up a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
Fenn, you're not
Yeah, they
quite
would be.
comfortable enough to sleep yet.
No, with Iyastera lore, 'cause in a lot of D&D, elves don't sleep, they just meditate. What's the deal with elves and
Oh, yeah, of course.
sleeping?
Oh yeah, of course, like Legolas.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, you can meditate, yes. However, after a certain point, depending on how long you've gone without a proper sleep, your body does still need to recover. So you can mentally stay sharper, but physically it will still wear on you. So I'll leave it up to you if you're going to go into your meditative state or properly sleep.
I think they're a bit wired from everything today, and they're with strangers, so they might just meditate today, even though they have taken a fair amount of damage.
Okay.
Marlowe has not returned the book, by the way.
Oh, who's got the book right now?
Marlowe.
Ollie.
Oh, okay.
So Marlowe has
Yeah.
both the book and the spider.
Mhm.
I imagine Fenn keeps like sending glances at the book, but is too shy to be like, "Can I have it back?" Just like lets Marlowe have it for now.
Marlowe's just
Yeah.
like, I have unlocked this and been struck by it. I am not handing this back.
It has drawn my blood, it's mine.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
I'm-
Kendis is happy to let Marlowe keep an eye on that.
keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
I think part of what Kendis will do during the watch is maybe just like flick through some whatever books they have with them and
Yeah.
try and find something out about necromantic energy from books. I
In
don't know.
your giant rucksack that is
Yeah,
Yep.
almost as large as you.
yeah.
Bob's going to continue with the sculpture when he's
Okay.
when the wood carving when he's up for his watch.
Kendis is just like, I was prepared for this. I knew it.
I'm
It's had
so
a
glad
lot
I
of pent-up
packed.
angst. A lot of pent-up angst and frustration and anger over the past couple of weeks. So with that, with a rather tumultuous meeting of this new friend, companion, a newcomer, at the very least, you all return to what turned out to be a very unexpected first night away from home. And as the night goes on and the stars shine brighter in the sky, you do see a certain constellation shining a little brighter than the others.
The Wanderer?
Why, yes, indeed. One that all of you do know by now. In a manner, twinkling in a manner that is both comforting and somehow seems mocking. It's like, it's wishing you luck. You might need it.
Mm.
And that is where we will end our session tonight. That is where we end.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
so much fun.
That was awesome.
And immediately gives you guys so much
Fenn!
trouble.
Oh, man.
Welcome.
Drops us in it massively.
Oh,
So
Fleet
much trouble.
Footwack, thank you. Is now a good time to congratulate you all on going straight into the story from the intro. You know, I thought it, but I didn't want to say anything because I
Oh
didn't
my
want to break
gosh.
the flow. Thank you so much. I know, we did it for the first time. I think it's something about having our new hero on the team. Welcome, Fenn. Welcome, Argan Sky's Art. I don't know if that's what you expected for your introduction to the story, but there it is.
Oh, it was so good.
So, welcome.
Lovely having you.
Thank you so much for joining
Yeah.
us.
Thank you very much.
I hope you all enjoyed episode 2 of chapter 2, the first night away from home. Well done, everyone. You guys had some crazy rolls.
Yeah, it was really
Oh
high.
my
Really high
gosh.
roll.
You
Marlowe, especially.
wrecked.
I know, what the heck was that
Great,
about?
man.
Like, that was pretty crazy.
So, neither of you, I don't think, possibly Fenn, but Bomb and Kendis, neither of you have ever seen, you haven't interacted with many tieflings? Kendis, you probably have, but you haven't seen the Hellish Rebuke like that before.
No.
So that's going to be an interesting thing. Lots of interesting things coming out about these people. You know, traveling, you learn a lot about each other on the road.
You really do.
It's going to be fun. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up there and get to our post-session Zoom chat afterwards.
Yep.
But yeah, any announcements before we end for the evening? Marlowe.
Hello, that's me. I am. You can find me on Twitter at Jenn Peig. I'm a freelance illustrator and artist. You can find me every other today on here, as well as every today on the Geekly Inc. channel, playing a Rime of the Frost Maidens campaign. Starting next Friday, I will be playing a Aliens RPG miniseries on Maori Nerd, I think's channel. And then various things I can't talk about.
NDAs. Putting some push commands in the chat there. Thank you, Marlowe. Very good. Bomb, got anything for us?
Yeah, I'm doing the pro bono week for charity, so I've got Inspirals there.
Yay! Excellent.
Laura's kind of organised that.
That reminds me of something.
Chaotic Lawful Incorporated.
Yeah,
so I'll be running a game during that week.
One of those too.
Yeah, of course you are, Jen. I saw you on the.
Yeah.
Hey.
I definitely
We're both doing
forgot
that.
about that. I will be playing a game on Wednesday.
And what charity is it? What are you raising money for?
It's for mind, you know,
COVID
like
really
something we're both
too,
passionate
right?
about.
Yes.
That's
Mental
awesome.
health. Mental health relief.
Mental
Wonderful.
health, yeah.
Mind is a fantastic organization. You folks may remember Mind from when we were doing our Scribbler Hug charity event as well.
That's right.
So
Yeah, we did
let
that.
the love and hugs keep going. Fantastic work, you guys.
Yeah.
Fleetfoot Whack. Everyone be ominously proud of Jenn. She's up to real cool top secret stuff. Ominously proud of you.
Ooh.
Always
Ominously
ominously
proud of you also.
Looking forward to seeing what
Awesome.
So much
goes
ominous
on
pride.
there. Yeah. Kendis, Spirit Jam. What you got going on?
Oh, I think, Tea Light Press is still taking submissions for the last couple of days. Our theme for this month is nature, so send in your poetry, prose, flash fiction, and art about nature. It's a super broad theme, but, you know, it's been inspiring creators since time immemorial, so we figured we would have to have it as a theme at some point. Other than that, I am pretty busy with work and settling into my new life in Western Canada, so I've been pretty
So
quiet.
exciting.
I know, I feel really bad. A bunch of people have followed me on Twitter, and I just haven't really had time to look at any of their stuff and whatever. But it's fine. It's okay. This is a good time for me to just be enjoying real life and not putting too much pressure on myself. So other than finishing maps for Rich, which hopefully I'll be working on pretty rapidly over the next couple of days, that's it. That's me. Follow me on Twitter at Spirit Jam as usual. Eventually I'll tweet again about stuff. I don't know.
There's nothing
Whatever.
wrong with balancing
It's fine.
life
Exactly.
and stepping away from the
So good.
screen now and then. I've been doing that a little bit
exactly.
more lately than I typically do as well. And I'd say nature is a fantastic theme. I think some of you wonderful scribblers out there should totally do some fan art of the nature scenes from this game and submit it. There's my
That would
humble
be actually
recommendation
really
from a
awesome.
non-artist, because I'm not going to be the one to do it. But dang, these pictures in my head look gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. Some super good visuals
Yes.
from this today's episode, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah.
Excellent. Fenn, Argon Skies.
Yeah, so for those who don't know me, I'm Kit. You can find me at Argon Skies Art on Twitter and Instagram, or at Argon Skies here on Twitch, where I do art streams on most Mondays, mostly D&D and TTRPG related.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it really, not up to anything much in particular, just this. Very excited to be here.
Very, very exciting. We're very happy to have you here. And yes, in case you hadn't picked up on that, Fenn is a regular member, is going to be an enduring character in Heroes of Iyastera. So welcome to the full campaign crew once again. This was my big spoiler lately. Tried to tease that a little bit. We've got some other things to reveal as time goes on, but you folks know where to find me. I'm here. I try to be here every Tuesday and Thursday. However, life and other projects have popped up here and there, so it hasn't been as consistent as usual, but I will be back for next Tuesday's Chill Creation stream. And there are some exciting top secret things that I'm working on as well. Stay tuned. June. That's all I'm going to say for now.
A lot happening in June, right?
2021. And then probably after that, September 2021. That's all I'm saying. Exciting things are happening in Iyastera. And I think there was a lore drop really quick. Dragonborn,
Yeah.
much like kobolds, Aarakocra, everyone kind of evolves differently over the generations depending on the different region of Iyastera you're from. Yokulian Dragonborn will look different from Tashkili or Elin Dragonborn. It really depends. Really does depend. Tashkili Dragonborn don't really have the same sorts of tales as, say, the Elin Dragonborn do. Elin Dragonborn are a little bit more flamboyant in their coloring and the way their scales and everything grow, a little bit more feather-like down there. But, yeah. Environmental adaptations. It's a thing. For all species and races on this planet. So, that's all I've got. I don't have anything else to say. Thank you so much, everyone, once again for joining us for this exciting next part of our story. We are going to end it there with our new and improved intro or outro video. So without further ado, keep adventuring, keep scribbling, and we will see you folks next time. Good night, everyone. Love
Thank you so
scribblers.
much.
Bye.
Love you.
Thank you.